Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Daily Crypto News. And yes, guys, the halving just occurred. We can see it here. The next halving is going to be in about 1458 days. So, yes, it did just happen, and the whole complete crypto market has been going insane. I mean, in terms of prices, not that much, but everything on Twitter is going berserk. A ton of articles are coming out right now, and really, there's a lot to talk about. But if you guys are enjoying the daily crypto videos, please support the channel by pressing the like button and subscribing. And the question of today is, are you still holding crypto? Yes or no? Let me know in the comment section down below, and let's get on with the video. If you guys, haven't already pressed the like button, make sure you do so. So first of all, a little bit of a FUD article that I want to get out of the way as soon as possible. And it kind of scared me because of the title. Ripple CEO and co-founder do not believe in XRP. I read this, was kind of scared because I didn't know really what went on and what came out just now. But in the end, it's nothing much. It's nothing crazy. So, it's going to be fine. When you believe in a crypto, you hold it. If the crypto has any real value, then you're probably using it for everyday, real transactions that introduce real value into the world. Or maybe every once in a while, you sell off a small portion to cover a pressing expense that you have. But if you are selling the crypto every day, then that should be a red flag, especially when these sales come from the co-founder and CEO of the project. So, I find this really interesting, to say the least. Jet McCallop's multi-million sales. I mean, why would you have Jet McCallop in here at all? I mean, he used to be involved with the project, but he's not anymore. So I don't really know why you had to mention him at all. So that was kind of like a letdown because I expected some more true info. This is just completely stupid. If McCallop truly believed in the project he helped create, then he would not be selling hundreds of thousands of dollars of its coin per day. But given that Ripple's CEO makes negative statements about Ripple and does the same thing, sell massive amounts of XRP each quarter, it's no wonder that McCallop is liquidating so much. So again, I'm kind of wondering exactly what was said, but Luke Martin said on Twitter, here's a fun quote from the CEO of Ripple. Brad Garlinghouse said, "We would not be profitable or cash flow positive without selling XRP. I think I've said that, we have now. Dumping XRP on you is how Ripple stays alive." And again, they're just calling up these things again, right? We covered all of this before. We went over everything. And yet again, they're trying to dig these things out of the grave into your faces again to, I guess, pull up the FUD, to get you to be scared or something like that. I really don't know why exactly. Also, something they say is that they've been given MoneyGram money for their partnership, which again, I don't think is really weird. You want them to utilize XRP, so you're paying them. I don't think that's a strange thing either, at all. And is it an exit dump? Ripple's present and past activities signal that the company has trouble generating revenue. If it were not for its quarterly XRP sales, Ripple would not be a profitable company. What we are seeing play out before us is an exit dump. Ripple and its previous team members are selling the XRP that they can before XRP becomes worthless. That being said, you should do as a company does and get out of XRP while it still has any value. And don't be surprised when the company has to close its doors because it's out of money. Do you agree with this, guys? I mean, I personally find it complete BS and pretty stupid. I didn't expect it from CoinGeek, such a biased article to come out. Patrick Thompson here, I don't like what he did here. Really don't like. However, a lot of you guys must be having this opinion because every time I make a video mentioning XRP, a lot of you guys are like, "Hey, dump this stupid ass coin, and this coin will never go to anywhere." Yada yada yada. But I'm also wondering why he posted it now. Nothing has been going on surrounding this at all. There's no new info. He's just trying to FUD us a little bit more with a very heavy title. Very, very heavy, very negative, and I really don't appreciate this at all. By the way, I'm not affiliated with Ripple or XRP, so he can say whatever he wants. I just don't think it's appropriate to give people some sort of false information. I mean, the Ripple CEO never said anything about not believing in XRP. Co-founder, I mean, he founded something, but he has no involvement in the project anymore, so it's not really strange for him to be selling it. Top crypto traders predict Bitcoin price direction after the Bitcoin halving. Bitcoin price saw wild volatility leading up to the halving. top crypto traders discuss where the price is likely to head next. Well, there's a couple of different scenarios, but here, the primary bullish scenario following Bitcoin's halving is a breakout of a major trend line above the $14,000 mark, which dates back to 2017. In the past year, Bitcoin's price moved within a large multi-year cycle established by its record high at $20,000 and its June 2019 peak at $14K. Every time Bitcoin's price got close to breaking out of this range, it was met with a fierce rejection. If the current Bitcoin momentum is overwhelmingly strong and breaks out of the multi-year trend, then there is a possibility that it would trigger a major uptrend. Cryptocurrency trader Satoshi Flipper said, "I'm still betting on breaking through the upper trendline resistance and price action heading north. No way are my convictions changing because some clown sold their Bitcoin and price tanked one day." A Bitcoin technical analyst known as Galaxy echoed a similar prediction, saying that the last time Bitcoin saw 7 consecutive weekly candles, a 160% increase followed. In the last 7 weeks, Bitcoin's price continued to increase without major pullbacks, which last happened in December 2018. Following the 7 weeks, the price surged from $3,100 to $14,000 in merely 7 months by June 2019. Galaxy said, "Look what happened last time we had 7 consecutive green weekly candles. We had a doji candle followed by a 160% increase, but it looks of it, we're in for a little bit of a ride." That happened right there. You can see it. Zooming in. Right there. All right. That's actually the bullish scenario that's going to be coming. That's what most people are having right now. When it comes to trustworthiness, which is what Paul Tudor Jones, I believe, said, Bitcoin is 11 years old. There is very little trust in it. We're watching the birth of a store of value. Whether that succeeds or not, only time will tell. What I know is that every day that goes by and Bitcoin survives, the trust in it will go up, which is definitely true. And then there's, of course, the bearish scenario, which a lot of you guys must know about as well, because that's kind of important. In the short term, several crypto traders anticipate Bitcoin's price to drop as low as $6,500. There are strong arguments to be made for a temporary bearish price trend after the halving, a confluence of Bitcoin nearing a major overhead resistance at 10.5K, and historical data suggest a steep fall following the halving. According to Bitcoin trader Dave the Wave, if the price of Bitcoin continues to move based on a fractal taker from 2019, it is likely going to see a pullback to the $6,000 region. To quote, "If the fractals continue to hold, time to start thinking about consolidation levels. 50% consolidation in real term would put Bitcoin in the 6K range, all good going forward." And another quote is, "The sudden price drop to $8,100 led the formation to break, technically leaving Bitcoins as vulnerable to a severe correction. At the time, crypto investor Scott Malker said that the market observed a strong shakeout. Malker added, "That was the highest hourly volume candle since the epic crypto doomfest on March 12th. It won't be rushing into position until this shakes out a bit." That was some real deals selling we just witnessed, and possible variables that may affect short-term price. Well, hedge funds, big thing. Barry Silbert, the CEO of Grayscale, said in a tweet on May 9th, let's actually read that through. Said in a tweet that his investment firm reached $3.7 billion in assets under management on May 9th, an all-time high for the company, Grayscale said in its Q1 report. Hedge fund investment gains steam. 88% of inflows this quarter came from institutional investors, the overwhelming majority of which were hedge funds. The mandate and strategic focus of these funds is broadly mixed and includes multi-strat, global macro, arbitrage, long-short equity, event-driven, and crypto-focused funds. And again, I think, of course, as anybody could guess, hedge funds are going to be a major deal breaker here, which could make or break. And I guess also the FOMO surrounding this halving, and I guess also just the stimulus checks and the whole panic scenario might also do something crazy for the price still. The Bitcoin halving 2020 just happened. Here's what you missed. The third Bitcoin halving went like clockwork, but the falling price of Bitcoin cast a shadow over the event, and here's how it went down. In brief, the Bitcoin halving just occurred. It now has lower inflation than gold. The halving counters economic policy, such as the printing of the US dollar, and here's what key crypto figureheads have to say about the halving as it just happened. Well, I personally don't think there was too much special. It kind of felt like New Year, I also admit. It was kind of a countdown. Everybody was waiting. Here, on Bitcoin Magazine's live stream, there were 7,000 people watching. A couple of really important, crypto guys, or I guess trading guys, and thus, that was pretty popular. However, in the end, it's not going to change much to most of us. And also, all the doom scenarios that people are quoting, they're not happening. As most people that are making money in the world in Bitcoin, they know, all right? They're not stupid. They know what it's worth. They know what they need to do. And in the end, it never really hurts as much as people like to think, which is kind of interesting as well about it all. The sale is that put all your life savings into Bitcoin today so that when the emission goes down in the future and these things become really scarce, and this is the magic part, magically the demand even increases, or at least stays where it is, such that the price goes up and you'll get rich, he said, adding, what are the chances that there's so much demand that we can still cash out and get rich? So that's one of the questions I'm going to be covering later on in one of my videos, just because I think it's a very important subject to talk about a little bit more of an exit strategy, as, again, I always think it's fascinating to know that once we have $100 million, all of us, for example, in like Bitcoin and XRP or things like that, there should be a way to cash it out. There should be a way to utilize it, and there should be a way to use it, right? Because otherwise, there still needs to be as much demand for Bitcoin to be able to switch it over or to do something with it. And more about that is going to be coming in one of my later videos today, so make sure you watch out for that. Bitcoin's third halving complete. Reward cuts surprisingly faster than previous time. Estimates, what is there to say? The Bitcoin blockchain has experienced its third halving in May 11th at approximately 3:21 p.m. EST. Even though quite a few countdown clocks estimated the halving would occur on May 12th, Bitcoin miners now get 6.25 Bitcoin per block rather than 12.5, and that's basically all they're saying here. It happened a little or a couple of hours earlier. Yeah, whatever. Who cares? I mean, it's happened now. If you cared, you most likely knew already. So, what's the important part about all of that? Earlier, I had a couple of other videos planned to talk about in depth on the halving, and what lines of code try to explain what, and how the halving was first kind of stupidly made by Satoshi in the original code. I was planning to go over all of it, and then I wondered, who really cares about all of that, since it doesn't have anything to do with you and as an individual or you making money, because it's not going to have an influence on the price whatsoever. So it's not really important. It's just kind of a fun fact, like some fun facts about some stupid animals, some ones you will never see, that some have a beak and a horn or something like that. It's kind of cool to know, but in the end, it might not help you out too much. So that's why I'm also not uploading anything like that. Bitcoin price goes wild as halving commences. The halving is here, and the price of Bitcoin is starting to fall as nervousness among miners and holders takes over. Not really true at all, actually. I mean, prices have not been going down as much as expected even, so I wouldn't agree with that. Binance US CEO Catherine Colley recently explained that Bitcoin's third halving could be a gigantic boom for Bitcoin, especially considering the US Federal Reserve's money printing spree and what this will mean for the future dollar inflation. A little bit more about that in one of the videos coming up as well. And the final Bitcoin halving block had a secret message. The Bitcoin halving just happened, but inside the penultimate halving block is a homage to a very creation of Bitcoin itself. Here's what it says. The Bitcoin halving has happened. The penultimate Bitcoin halving has a message. The message harks at the origin of Bitcoin. Jameson Lopp said on Twitter, the final block with a subsidy of 12.5 Bitcoin was mined by F2 Pool official and contained the following message in its Coinbase transaction. New York Times, April 9th, 2020, with $2.2 trillion tether injection. Fed's plan for Forex 2008 rescue. Was that it? No, wait, here. As Bitcoin diehards, I think no, it's not. As Bitcoin diehards know, this isn't the first time that a political statement has been put inside a Bitcoin block. The first ever Bitcoin block, known as the Genesis block, also contained a message. This was the Times 03, January 2009, sorry. Chancellor on brink of second bailout for banks. All right, so it was true. This time in the last transaction, or in the last block, it said, New York Times, 9th of April 2020, with $2.0 trillion injection, Fed's plan Forex Siege 2008 rescue. All right, that was the last one, which is again a pretty heavy message, but yeah, the halving is done, and yeah, we can reset again for the next halving, I guess. It's just a couple of years away. I'll just show you guys this countdown every single day from now on as well, because I guess, no, just kidding, of course, guys. But yeah, if you enjoyed this info, make sure you subscribe and press the like button. I try to do crypto news every single day, but also on my second channels, I have a finance one and another crypto one. Make sure you check them out. See you guys again in another crypto video.